Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Indigo Chameleon channel. Hopefully, everybody's having a good night tonight. We are coming to you live with our very first one shot, set in the land of wonder, which I have been sort of building and growing from a very tiny inkling of an idea, but I have gathered before you a group of players that I think can handle the nonsense, the craziness, the awesomeness that is the very first one shot on the Indigo Chameleon. So for everybody that's tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a few announcements before we get started. Be sure to give us a like or a follow up top. Click that little heart on the Twitch channel and you'll be able to know anytime that we're streaming. You can also follow us on Discord. You'll see all sorts of cool stuff from like cat memes to an updated schedule to our vampire role play. We've got a little bar that happens that you can come in, create a vampire character, and walk in called Blood and Bourbon. It's really easy, no dice rolls, just create a character and come in and interact with cool people in a bar in New Orleans. Lots of cool stuff happening on the channel. We've got some on Monday. We don't have anything going on Tuesday. Tuesday we have Wonder, our tabletop game, which is D&D 5th edition set in Wonderland, which this will be sort of a continuation of. Because it is Super Bowl Sunday, this coming Sunday, and apparently that's a big deal. I'm a Saints fan, so to me, it's not that big of a deal. But to other people, it's a big deal. So we're not going to be doing games or anything that night. So there won't be any board games or anything like that. But stay tuned because next Friday, we have something amazing planned. We have our first Dread here on the channel so that we're doing. And Tuesday, as always, is going to be the D&D night. And then on Thursdays, it'll be another episode of Creative Chaos. This past week's Creative Chaos went amazingly well. We had Beljinx the Bard come out with a guitar, and we basically improvised songs all night long, including the infamous Boop on the Snoot song, which was one of my favorite things I think I've ever been a part of. So yes, please, please, please. We could not do what we do without all of you and all of your support. So I think that finishes the announcements. We are happy to announce that we are an affiliate with Skull Splitter Dice. We reached out to them, they reached out to us, and so if you look on our Twitch page, you'll see the link for Skull Splitter Dice. They are a happy sponsor. They're going to send us some stuff for giveaways upcoming soon, so all good things. Enough of me, enough of talking, enough of announcements. Let's get into the nitty gritty and play a little D&D. We have some amazing people on the channel this evening. We have Birdo. You want to say hi, Birdo?
Hello. My name is Birdo.
We have David.
Hello. Pleasure being here.
We have Maddie.
Hello there. Pleasure to see you.
Tracy. And Mike. Woohoo! They are going to be playing characters this evening in this game where we start in a small town called Overland. Overland is on the continent of Wonder itself. For those of you that have been paying attention and watching the Wonder 5th edition game, the home game, this is on the other side of the continent. Right now, Overland is sort of ruled over by this sort of prevailing kingdom that overlooks everything. The castle is built up on this giant hill. You are all part of a special group. You have all worked together before. Basically, when creatures start coming out of the woodworks, and which has been happening more and more lately, the King's Guard reaches out to you in order to sort of help with the overflow. Towns that are a little on the outskirts of the kingdom or places that are a little off the beaten path. The king has decided that he doesn't want to spend valuable resources defending those areas, but they still need some sort of presence. And that's where you come in. You are a group of adventurers that found that you could work better together than you ever could alone. You've done several jobs. Some of you have reasons for adventuring, which we can dive into a little bit. Some of you do not. You do all work under one sort of calling force. It is a dwarven man. His name is Rashik. Rashik is the one that contacts you when there's the job that needs doing. You each have a sending stone, and he contacts you and has you meet him. Rashik has gathered you all together here this evening. Rashik is a dwarven man. He's got that long sort of salt and pepper beard that kind of goes down. His face, the parts of it you can see that are not covered in facial hair are covered in sort of scars. He's got this sort of rough demeanor. And he's sort of for lack of a better word, he's sort of your heroic agent. Rashik is your middleman between the kingdom. So Rashik calls you all forward and says that one of the outskirts of the kingdom, the town of Marath, is reporting some strange goings on in the town. They've noticed that people are starting to go missing. Usually it's people that live sort of away from the town center, but more and more people are starting to go missing. Enough so that the governor of that particular town of Marath contacted the king contacted Rasha, and here we are. So Rasha contacts you all and hurriedly promises you gold and sends you off on your way towards this town of Marath. As you are headed towards the town, I imagine this group of heroes is sort of walking down this dirt path. From an outside observer, let's take a second and introduce our characters for this evening. We will start with you, Mike. Who do we see coming up over this hill?
You see Crispus Puddlefoot. His nickname is Deadeye. The best way to characterize him is if he was the living embodiment of the cartoon Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes is what he looks like.
Okay. Standing not too far away, Millie, tell us a little bit about what we see when we look at her. Yes. Wonderful. Maddie, who do we see when we look at you?
At first glance, Sir Caladan is a time-worn and wrinkled, a somewhat dishevelled appearance, dressed in leather armour and travel garb that has seen much use. His long greying hair hangs from under a dark beaten tricorn hat, and his peppered, grizzled goatee wisps lightly on the breeze. Despite his elderly appearance and forlorn look, he carries himself with a proud, noble bearing, and the belt, crimson sash, and fine rapier at his waist speaks of a master swordsman.
Ooh.
Can I have him describe my character? Because that's what I'd like. To start over, and you just do mine as well?
Let me try something real quick, because apparently you guys can hear me and they can't hear me. So I just tried adjusting something with the mic and seeing if this helps. So can you guys hear me if I do this? All right, we'll try that. It's going to take a 30-second delay anyway, so you guys can go ahead and start, but we'll see if that helps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll see if that helps. Yes, that was an amazing description, Maddie. I get vibes of Don Quixote. David, who do we see when we see your character?
Oh, me. My name is Jane the Boulder Johnson, the D is silent. You look out, and you see a tall, 8-foot man. No. I am no man. I am a barbarian. I have a green man bun on the top of my head and bright green eyes. And I play the sham for all of you, and everyone loves me. They love my sham playing. And I love all of my fans. So, Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you hear what the Sham is shaman?
I think we get an idea. That's
What's your idea? What are you trying to say?
no, nothing. The Sham.
Okay.
The boulder. Yeah.
The boulder.
Yeah.
Do you hear what the boulder is, shaman?
Tracy, you want to try an audio check again? See if that works?
Yeah, I think I've got it fixed as long as I do this and then I click this.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Last but certainly not least, rounding out our party, Birdo.
Hello, I am Jables Esperanza. I am a noble from the Esperanza household that lives just over the hill. I am what you say, a performer, a minstrel, a singer, a lover. Me and my rapier, Bianca, and my flute, also named Bianca, and my lute, also named Bianca, and my lyre, named Will, will come into town and make sure that everything is set right by the dulcet tones of my voice. I am a very pretty man with red and gold trim, vest, white shirt, and tight, very tight brown pants.
Oh my God, this party is gorgeous. You cut a pretty big scene as you make your way across this bridge. People obviously see the 8-foot tall boulder first, as he sort of walks playing his sham. But quickly, the people of the town start coming out of their houses and seeing this group of heroes make their way across the bridge. You know that you are supposed to meet your contact in the one sort of tavern/bar in town called the Broken Pawn. But heroes, day is yours.
I wonder, Boulder, can you play not so badly? You will scare away the fans.
You mean, can I ever play beautifully? Of course I can play beautifully.
Where is this bar? We must find it.
I believe they may just follow the music.
Good. Why don't everyone give me that worked. Give me perception checks at advantage as you follow the music to the Broken Pawn.
I have rolled a 17.
Okay.
23 total.
Ooh, Deadeye doing good.
That's his shtick.
That's okay.
Why they call him Deadeye.
So Deadeye,
one of these.
What the D20? Yes, one of those guys.
Got it.
14 for me.
Awesome. Yeah, the town's not that big. You do off in the distance, Deadeye. I will say that you are the first one to spot this sort of hanging sign. Looks like a pawn from a chessboard that's fallen over and sort of cracked down the middle. But you see it not too far away as you make your way into the small township proper.
I'll point it out to Jables first because he's the closest.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. I saw it right after you did. It's right there in front of us. We should walk towards it. Very briskly, but with intent.
I like the cut of your jib.
Yes,
right.
Christmas. We shall go forward.
You always say that. You always call me Christmas.
That's how you pronounce your name, Christmas.
No, Crispus.
There is a P. Oh,
Yes.
Oh, my dear God.
It's
I am
okay.
so
You'll call
sorry,
me it
Christmas.
100 times. It's okay.
It is okay, Christmas. We shall move forward.
Yeah, exactly.
You two are already acquainted, I see.
Well, he thinks he is, but he never remembers my name.
It is a term of endearment.
Nice.
Ah, got it.
Where is Millie? I don't see her. Oh, there she is. Sorry,
I'm right
I always
here.
lose you. You need to stop standing behind Boulder. He is too big, and he always eclipses you.
Is that a
8
short
feet
joke?
tall of pure barbarian.
Oh, really? We're throwing short jokes around? You're throwing short jokes at me? Okay, I got it. I see how this is going to go.
Of what the people were expecting, this is definitely not it. Because I just imagine you guys sort of standing there and sort of walking forward and sort of having this conversation as you walk, and people don't know whether to clap or just sort of like look at you and nod their head. But sure enough, yeah, you make your way to the Broken Pawn. Here's the deal. Everyone is going to be able to fit into this, with the exception of Boulder. This doorway was not built for someone 8 feet tall, Boulder. So you may
Whoa.
have to.
I'm only 7 foot 10 inches. I just tell people I'm 8 foot tall.
Okay, well that's fine then. You should be able to make
Okay.
it in just perfectly.
Cool. Don't tell anyone though.
No,
No.
God, secret
Nobody's
safety.
measuring.
It's our secret. Thank you.
You make your way in. You see a gentleman sort of standing at the far end of the bar, and he keeps pulling out a sort of pocket watch and looking at it nervously and putting it in. And as you all start to file into the bar, he motions you toward a table near the back.
I go over to the table.
Yes, hello, everyone. I will assume you are here because Rashak sent you. Is that correct?
He did indeed.
Wonderful. Yes. Well, you are a little late, but no worries. It's only by a few seconds. My name is Lucian, and I will be your contact while you're here in town. Do you all have experience adventuring, saving people, hunting things?
What do your eyes tell you? Look upon us now.
Oh, that's very good. yes, of course. I don't know why I would assume. So here is what's been happening. He takes out a piece of paper and sort of lays it on the table in front of you, and on the paper is sort of a crude map of the surrounding areas. And Lucian starts pointing out different houses to you, and he says, each of these houses on the outskirts of town is missing an individual from it. It usually happens at night. The family wakes up the next morning and the person is gone, not there. They don't know what happened. We search and can't find anything. And the people inside the town are starting to get worried as the numbers sort of grow and grow for those disappearing.
You seem a little nervous.
Oh, do I? No. No, it's just that I'm not used to sort of outsiders coming into the town and things of that nature. If I'm nervous, it's just that I am trying to get things started.
I roll to see if he's bullshitting.
Give me an insight check.
9.
No. I mean, he seems super on the level to you. I mean, he's definitely freaked out. He's nervous, but you don't pick up on anything that says that he's lying to you.
Is there anything common about the people that have been taken?
What do you mean by common?
Or that they share in common? Each of the people that has been taken, are they all children? Are they all boys? Are they all girls? Are they
yes.
old?
No, they're not old per se. I don't want to get the people of the town in a tizzy, but yes, they all are of a certain age. It's a younger age, and so I fear that if that information got out, it would cause a bit of an uproar, you see. So I'm hoping that you can all handle this quietly.
So they're all children.
Yes.
Well, this map is rather crude, but it makes sense. I can see.
I'm gonna try to look at the map and see if I can maybe discern a kind of pattern or draw something on the map to see if there's a epicenter of, things disappearing.
Okay. Jables, give me an investigation check. If any of you have investigation as a proficiency skill, I would allow him to take this at advantage.
I'll assist him.
Okay. So Jables, take this at advantage. Roll 2d20, take the higher.
That is a 19.
Okay. So while you are talking and while Lucian is there and the bartender sort of brings over drinks for everyone at the table, you watch as Jables takes a bit of chalk out of his pack and starts drawing a line from one of the houses and stops and erases it. And after a while, though, you do notice a bit of a pattern. You don't know if it's a lot, but there's a small spot on the map. There's nothing drawn on it because it's just the houses that are drawn. But you notice that there's one spot on the map that looks to be a bit equidistant from all of the houses that were hit. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I seem to have found something, maybe. I show it to the rest of the group. Do
You
know
found
what
a map.
is here? This is the map we were given. I just merely drew on it.
Looks
Never
like a
mind
smiley
the
face.
doodle in the bottom right-hand corner.
Doodle.
Well, let's go over there.
I asked the man, was it, I forgot your name.
Lucian?
Ah, that's right, Lucian.
Yes.
Is there anything in this area that I have circled?
He takes the map from you. He looks down at it and looks back up at you and says, not that I'm aware of.
Very good.
Then let us not tarry any longer. Let us investigate.
For once, old man, you have said something that I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Sir Caladan frowns and then continues.
All right. I imagine you...
Do one of you guys want to explain this to Boulder?
Yeah,
Oh,
what?
Follow
what?
us.
I'm right behind you.
Okay, so you make your way outside of the Broken Pawn, and using the map, it's still going to be a little hard to get there because Lucian can sort of point you in the right direction, but following the map in an unfamiliar territory, it's still going to be a bit of a struggle. So I would say somebody give me a nature check to sort of make your way through the outskirts and read off this map and get where you need to be.
9.
5.
Yeah,
11.
11. Yeah, you know what, guys? It takes you a while. Like Boulder a couple of times, like walks off and like gets lost, and then it takes you a long time. But I will say it takes you to the better part of the evening. But right as the sun is setting, you sort of find what you think is the spot that you found. Before you is a large circular structure that looks boarded over. Next to it is a small sign, but that is about the only thing that you find. It's covered in brush and overgrowth.
Can I cast detect magic on it?
You can. So Millie sort of walks forward and casts detect magic, and sure enough, you are detecting magic over the boards that are sort of covering the top of this circular structure. And it's illusory magic.
Oh, okay. So over the Like it's a round structure going up, and then there's boards that are covering it. How tall is the structure itself?
The structure's not that tall. It's about 5 feet. So I imagine you just got a little bit of a boost up when you started seeing the sparkle over the top. But it's about 5 feet up. It almost looks like what a well would look like, but it's much larger, much larger. But it's still that same sort of circular structure.
Hey, this top is it's not real. It's magical. It's illusion. You guys want to check inside?
After you.
I'm just curious what that sign says. There's a sign right there. Why has no one read the sign?
Oh, okay. Somebody needs to read it to him. Can we read him?
Well,
read him the sign.
I'm sure he can read. He's not that big of an oaf that he cannot read.
Are you sure?
My agent reads all of my paperwork.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to read this. Is
What
it in any specific language?
What languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Elvish, and Dwarf, and Goblin.
It's not written in any of those.
Never mind.
Sylvan or
about-
Gnomish?
No. Maddie.
Orcish.
Common or giant?
Mhm.
You guys, it's written in halfling for sure. It's got to be written in halfling.
It's not written in halfling.
Oh, actually,
Any
I have a way to read this, guys.
Oh, well then go ahead, please.
I cast tongues. I haven't used this before. I'm looking at it right now. Grants creature you touch the ability to understand. Oh, it's a spoken language. Shoot, that doesn't help me. Never mind.
Elvish and halfling. Elvish and halfling.
Nope. You guys look at the sign, and for some reason, it's just not. It's not registering for any.
Yeah, and you guys said I was the dumb.
I cast. I take out Bianca. And I cast comprehend languages on Sir Galahad.
Oh. Wow.
Okay. Suddenly, Skylad, you are able to read this sign that is next to here.
It says do not enter.
It is called.
No, that was it.
You don't read. You don't know what the language is. I believe with comprehend languages, but you're just able to read it. But it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're able to read something that says "the drink me well."
Okay. Well, it seems the message has appeared before me. It's, let me think now. The drink me well. Does that mean anything to anybody here?
What if we drink you poorly?
I do not have enough grasp on the language. This is very peculiar for me. But that is all I have.
How about somebody boost me up and I'll just stick my head through the illusion and see what I see down there?
Boulder, do you mind holding her by the legs and dunking her down?
I have some rope. Let's be safe about this. We can't.
Nah, I got this.
At least tie a rope to her waist.
Okay. Speaking of drinking, I've been drinking, guys. We stopped at the pub.
How is that not uncommon?
Okay. So who is tying Millie with the rope?
I'll tie the knot.
Okay. Give me just a dexterity check to see how well you tie this knot.
Okay.
Roll high.
19.
You feel pretty secure, and you're tied to this. Who's holding on to the other end of the rope?
Tie it onto Boulder's foot.
You're gonna tie it to Boulder's foot.
Yeah.
Love it. Who's tying that end of the knot?
Would you happy for me to do it again? I know my knots, dear. Don't worry.
He knows his knots.
It's very naughty.
I trust you.
Okay. So give me a roll for that one.
Wow. A total of 23.
You are super
Like
secure.
a master Boy Scout right there.
Wow.
Okay, so you are up on Boulder's shoulder, Boulder's shoulder, and you are just sort of leaning over the well.
I'm going to stick my head through the illusion and see if I see anything underneath.
Cool. What is your dark vision like?
I believe it's pretty sucky as I'm a gnome. Oh, wait, no. Oh, crap. I haven't played a gnome in a while. Hang on.
That's okay.
Oh, no, I do have dark vision at 60 feet.
Right. So you look down and you do in fact see sort of the stone walls. They're a little filled with moss. Give me a perception check as you're just sort of leaning through this illusory wood.
26.
You hear something that sounds like this. Coming from the darkness deep down, but beyond where you can see.
Now I cast tongues on myself.
Okay. You cast tongues on yourself, and you just keep hearing the same word over and over. You keep hearing meat. Meat. Meat.
So I poke my head back out of the illusion and I say, there's something scattering down there, and it keeps saying meat, meat, meat. And I don't know if it means like the meat kind that you eat, or if meat's like, hey, a friendly greeting. So it could really go either way, guys.
Well,
why don't we toss it some meat and see what happens? Open
Not
the
it.
tracks.
we can't toss her down there. That would be
Jerky.
ridiculous.
Anybody got some?
I believe I have some jerky in my pack, my rations here. He proffers it towards the gnome.
I tossed some meat down into the little well thing.
Okay. Oh my God. Of all the people I have to say this to, all right. Tracy plays with her meat and throws it into the well. Do you watch as it falls, or do you throw it from a distance?
Oh no, I watch, absolutely.
I will say you are leaning over the end again, and you're sort of looking down. And as you're looking down, you drop this piece of jerky. There's no other way to describe it other than the walls come to life. As the sides of the walls all start like push away from the wall and go down. You're seeing lots of different types of insects. You're seeing cockroaches. You're seeing stuff like that it was so pressed up against the wall that had managed to sort of like blend in with it, but they're larger than the average size. Like, and they're all sort of heading downward now, deep into the tunnel.
Guys, there's a tunnel down there with a ton of insects. If you guys want to go after it, we can.
I visibly jump back into Boulder's arms. I'm sorry, I tripped on that stick that was on the ground. Thank you for holding me and balancing me up.
You're welcome. I'll put you down gingerly, because you are a ginger man.
Thank you. I am going to walk in the other direction. I don't believe that this place is worth our time.
Jables gets down and smooths out his clothes and starts walking in the opposite direction.
All right, get him back here. Boulder, go get him.
Yeah, I'm still holding Tracy on my arms. I can't go anywhere. I don't want her to fall in.
What are we doing here? Perhaps it would be wise to investigate some of the places that the children were abducted from.
That is exactly what I am doing as I walk away further.
Is the structure around this quote-unquote well solid, or are there any openings in the stones?
You're looking for openings in the stone itself. Give me a perception check. Who all is looking? All of a sudden, you guys watch as Deadeye starts like examining the stones. Is anybody assisting with this?
I just assumed we could go in through the top. Can't we walk in through the top and go down into the little tunnel?
You absolutely can, but Deadeye is looking around the structure itself.
From a distance, gingerly, my character will be observing. Yeah.
Okay. Deadeye, give me a perception check as you start looking around the structure.
15 total.
Okay. You're starting to look around. You're starting to press against certain bricks and look at the structure itself. You're not finding anything. You kind of make a wide circle until you get to a brick. You start brushing some of the dirt back, and you see a brick with a symbol carved into it.
Is it something I would recognize?
It's written as the same language as the sign that's out front. You would recognize that much.
Ah, gotcha. I'm going to shout over for Smarty Pants, Kaladin, and see if you can't read this as well.
Indeed. I'm going to very carefully just peer over the edge and try to see what I've been alerted to.
Sir Kaladin, you see a symbol there, and it is the word blood.
It reads just one word, and it is blood. That's what I address the group. And
that's the only stone we found?
Again.
That's the only stone that you found that had any sort of symbol. And I think finding this would spark the interest of others. And
so if everybody else can start looking to see if there's any other symbols.
Yeah.
I'll start looking for symbols.
You think I can try lowering you down? Now the bugs are down at the bottom. You want to go down a couple more feet, see if you see anything on the inside?
Listen, I'm scared of plenty of things, but I ain't scared of bugs, so I can go down there.
All right.
So, Deadeye, you and Sir Kaladin are standing there looking, and then all of a sudden, Jables, did you keep walking? Like, are you standing a far distance back, just sort of looking at what everyone's doing?
I acted like I went away, but I'm kind of hiding behind a tree, a safe distance away. Not that I'm scared of bugs or anything, but all right. Just yeah.
Okay, yeah. You get lowered a little bit. How many lowering her?
Can I advise against it? That I don't agree that this is a good idea.
Nah, I got this, guys. I got this.
It seems to me to be some manner of sacrificial well. I would not go down there if you paid me.
But I'm child-sized, so we might learn something.
No, she's just looking around the outside, see if she sees anything else on one of those rocks. Now that the bugs move, she's just trying to look at the rocks.
I'll look into our eyes and say, "Don't go down there, dear."
Sir Kaladin gives you one final entreatment as you are being lowered down.
The DM says,
"You guys do whatever you want. This is great for me either way."
Now, what you're saying is...
What are you thinking? You want to? Do you see anything here? Just give one more look. Are the bugs still there? You want to go down? You want to come back up?
Well, you can pull me out real quick. If like I can pull on the rope and you can pull me out real quick, right?
Yeah.
Down.
Oh, we lost someone. Did we lose Berto?
Wait, he's hiding behind the tree, and he's just like really hiding. He's invisible right now. he's just gonna chill there. Yeah. He really doesn't like bugs. As soon as we talked about lowering you down.
Perfect. All right.
So yeah, I can pull you up real fast.
You'll be fine. The rope as well and help pull her up.
There we go.
Come on.
Cool.
Okay. So Sir Kaladin gets behind the boulder and sort of takes some of this rope, and Deadeye is there. Boulder, you're controlling the narrative here. How many feet into the darkness do you lower her?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie it around my leg one more time, couple more times, so it's not going anywhere. I'm 350. She can't go anywhere.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna lower her slowly, and we're just gonna do a foot at a time, and we're gonna just see. You see anything? All right. So I slowly, Caliban, take some of that slack. Hold on.
It's Caladan.
Yeah, Caliban. He's my cousin. I'm a big Goliath. So, anyways,
2.
1 foot, 2 feet. What do you see? No, we're stopping at 2.
What do I see?
What do you see?
A little bit of the same. You're seeing like some of the dark. Not a lot at 2 feet.
Not a lot.
You said this was 5 feet up from outside, but when I'm looking down, it goes way down below 5 feet, like it's like a well that goes way, 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 way down.
Yes.
Okay, just go ahead, lower me down. Just go like slowly, but lower me down,
Okay.
and I'll just keep looking.
We're at 3 feet. You're at 5 feet, so you're probably at like ground level now.
Ground
Anything
level.
there? No.
Nope.
All right, 1 more foot. 6 feet.
Pull
7
her
feet.
back up, man. Pull her back up.
No, she's okay. She's okay. You good?
Just go to about 10, 15 feet, and I'll give you some feedback.
All right, we're going down to 10. We're stopping.
Give me a perception check.
4.
That's an 11. Now I've got a +8 to perception, so that's an 11 with a
perception.
+8.
Okay. You are sort of looking around, and you're looking around, and it's hard to sort of maneuver with the rope where it is. So you don't really see a lot behind you or in front of you, and you're starting to sort of look down. Yeah. You're at about 10 feet right now.
All right, give me another 5 to 10 feet here.
I'm only doing 5.
Goodness sake.
At 15 feet, give me a perception check at advantage.
I got 15.
The first one was a 2. All right, but the next one was a 9 + 8, so that's a 17.
You're looking, and sure enough, right like a foot below you, you don't know why you didn't see it, but it's sort of, the rock goes like this. A little ways past it is a wooden door.
Guys, there's a door down here. It's about 15 feet down. Is there a floor there?
There isn't a floor there. Do you want to examine the wall?
Absolutely.
Give me an investigation check.
16.
You're sort of looking for a floor, and there isn't one there, but you start sort of poking and prodding. As you're poking and prodding, you notice that there's a really tiny slit in the wall, and sure enough, you can follow this sort of, it's almost like steps that are not there, but the spot is for them there, leading back up to about ground level of the circular building. So it looks like an alcove where a step might be, but there's no step there, leading to this door.
So it's almost like a step ladder. Like you could have crawled down from the top into the bottom, but you would have just had to go 5 feet before you could get on the ladder. Like I can crawl up 10 feet along the wall, and then I'm going to have to get myself the last 5 feet.
Yes, absolutely. That's kind of what it looks like. Or it looks like there's something there, it's just not out.
All right, so I'd like to touch along the wall. I don't want to waste another. Oh, my detect magic. Let me see how long that lasts, because I can't remember.
She's thinking to herself and sort of ruminating. Millie, give me a dexterity saving throw.
-15 -1 would be 14.
Yes, it would. So, Millie, you're sort of thinking to yourself, and you're wondering about detect magic, and you're wondering if detect magic is still lasting. And then all of a sudden, something skitters up the wall and jumps towards you and lands on your chest. So I will say up top, Sir Kaladin and the boulder, you feel the rope jerk suddenly as it's pulled down. There's extra weight that's been added to it.
That's it. We're pulling her up. I start to pull her up.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Let's pull her up.
Give me a strength check, Boulder. Roll 2d20s. Take this at advantage because you got Sir Kaladin behind you, sort of helping.
I got 13 and 8, and then I think I got Don't I have extra strength?
Yeah, you're adding your strength modifier to this one. You can actually make this an athletics check. You rolled a 13. Big
And
strong.
I got 25.
Okay, yeah. Dude, you're pulling and pulling and pulling, and all of a sudden, like, Millie is sort of pulled out from the cave, and as she is, there is this giant sort of spider on her chest that's crawling around, and she is sort of laying on her back with this spider, sort of now its head up, sort of surveying its surroundings.
Can I take a shot at it?
Sure. Yeah, give me a shot. Roll me an attack roll.
What are you doing?
Don't miss.
Oh, that's great, because that is a 19
Okay.
plus 9 to hit. So
Oh, yeah. Roll damage for me on this.
So 8 total.
So you watch as this thing's sort of crawling, and Millie's like screaming on the ground, and Deadeye just sort of like doesn't even get up from his spot that he's at. Looks for it, and it's a crossbow.
A longbow.
Longbow. Deadeye pulls out this longbow and fires it off, and it looks like it's going to hit Millie directly in the chest, but instead it hits the spider. The spider kind of flies backward and lands into a tree. And you all watch as this giant spider sort of twitches, convulses, and it spits up water. It's almost like a water balloon being popped as water comes pouring out of its mouth, and the spider shrinks and shrinks and shrinks until this arrow is sticking out of this tiny spider. It almost looks like an impossible shot with a longbow, as the spider's body shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks until it looks to be the size of an average spider.
Drink me, drink me. The well makes things big.
All right, I changed it. Now she's the smarty pants.
I've just worked with this stuff for a while. I mean, it's kind of my family business.
Wait, so should we try and get something? You think we should try? Anyone have a cup? We can like get some water out of here. We gotta try. We gotta do something. I wanted some of this. I'm 7 feet 10 inches. I mean, I'm 8 feet.
So you don't need to be bigger.
I say before we go in, let's explore this outside. See if there's any other runes like the one we discovered.
I didn't
Where's
get to tell you
J-Boss?
guys. There's a door. There's a door down there. It's about 10 feet down from the 5 feet down. It's like 15 feet down, but you got to go down 5 feet, and then there's a ladder, and you can get down 10 feet to get to the door.
Of course, there would be.
How do we get to the door?
I will say, Jables, you've been watching from a distance, and Kaladin, both of you give me Arcana checks, just the two of you.
Okay. Oh, I just rolled a 1.
Man, the night is so beautiful. You just love being outside, man. So great.
It is rather beautiful, actually. Yes.
Jables, what did you get?
Muted.
Oh, you might be muted, big guy.
Uh-oh.
Or maybe
I think
his
he's
microphone
frozen.
isn't working.
No, he
might
looks
be
frozen.
Oh, that's okay.
But
So
no sound.
no sound. You guys are sort of walking around. Give me then I will say everybody else give me an Arcana check as well, as you guys are sort of milling about this sort of circular
6.
structure.
He says 6.
6. Understood.
I still got this rope tied to me.
4.
Are you still in the well?
No, she's out.
What's going on here?
My Arcana is 19. I'm out of the well. I'm just telling you guys about the door down the well.
I will say that you figuring out that this is the Drink Me well from legend, you start thinking back to some of the things about arcana and the magic tied to this and your particular order and what you were tasked with doing, you know that it was not uncommon back in the old days to have trapdoors or entrances that were sparked with something. It was the equivalent of an arcana hide key, and you think you may have found the arcana hide key. Or you at least think Deadeye did when he found the brick that said blood.
Oh, do we have to put our blood on the brick? Who's going to do that? I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Bolter was like, oh, I bleed all the time. He walks forward and sort of cuts his hand a little bit. Do you smear some of your blood on that brick?
Yeah, I just...
Okay. Bolter goes, hey, I got this, and like high fives the brick with blood on it. And sure enough, as the blood sort of hits the rune sort of ignites and lights up a little bit, and a doorway opens. And as it opens, you guys hear the distinct sound of steps open in a circular pattern leading to the doorway that Millie was telling you all about.
Right this way.
All right.
What is my marching order for walking down the steps?
I'm the back.
Deadeye's in the back.
I'll go in the front because I've been there before.
Millie's in the front.
I'll be right behind her, so I can pull her back if necessary.
Okay.
Can I turn to J-Boss and just kind of raise an eyebrow at him, questioning to ask what if he's coming or not?
Anybody hear me? Mic check.
Yeah.
No, we can hear you now.
Oh, thank God. Okay, sorry. Yes. Well, let's see. I believe I shall lead the pack. Wait, these are real insects or are they just magic insects?
It's hard to tell.
Real magic.
They're real magic insects, which is my new favorite Saturday morning cartoon.
Have bloated and grown with magic. The water of the well makes things large.
Okay, well, I'm not going to lie. I'm not scared of insects, but I am not comfortable around them either.
We don't have to hug them.
Jables, are you bringing up the rear then, or are you in front of Deadeye?
I will bring up the rear if that is okay with everyone else.
And I will go in front of you.
All right. And then we have the pebble or the boulder right behind Millie. You are walking down these steps. It's a little precarious. It's a little slippery. It's sort of moss and overgrown. As you're making your way down, you get closer and closer to the door. I'm going to need everybody to give me a dexterity saving throw as you make your way towards this door.
20 total.
I am going to use my racial ability.
Okay.
Reroll this one
Please do.
because I'm lucky.
Ooh.
So that's a 17 total.
Okay, we're doing good. All right. What did everybody else get?
I rolled a 17 as well.
Yes. All right.
18.
18. And last but not least. No. Oh, God. Okay. So you guys are all watching and you're walking. Millie, get to the door. Kaladin, you are sort of coming forward, and Boulder is standing in the step before he gets to the door. And then Boulder, all of a sudden, you get this tickle in your nose, and you sort of do that thing where you like sneeze. You hit the wall with your head, and then sort of like start stumbling backwards. So you guys all watch as Boulder sort of starts to stumble backwards off of the step that he's on and slips on sort of the moss overgrown.
Who's behind Boulder? Sorry.
You are.
Okay, I will attempt to regain balance.
You watch as this 7'10" man is sort of like leaning backwards, and this sort of man walks forward and tries to catch him. Give me an athletics check as you try to shove him forward a bit.
5 total.
Oh God!
So Kaladin tries to like lean forward, and as he does, like you're not the young spry man that you were back in the day. This might have fit better.
Do I get an athletics check?
I will say you will start to fall backwards, and you can either give me an athletics check or an acrobatics check to grab onto the ledge.
Got it. I rolled a 12 plus 7 athletics.
Okay, so you guys watch as he sort of falls backwards, but grabs onto the step he's on with one hand, and just sort of like hangs there and starts doing what? You probably start doing one-handed pull-ups, like
Yeah.
Meant to do this. Totally meant it. Gotta keep arms.
Yeah. They don't call me the boulder for nothing.
give me an athletics check to pull yourself back up, Boulder.
I got a 7 plus 7, 14.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Boulder then pulls himself off and tries to shake it off as doing one-handed pull-ups. You guys are at the front door. Millie, at least you are, and it's this wooden door in front of you.
Okay, I just realized I have no ability to check for traps or anything else on this sort of door. So if I scooch off to the side a little bit, does anybody want to do that?
Does anyone have that ability that would pipe up and be like, hey, I can do this?
I'm pretty
No?
perceptive.
You know what? That's okay. I'll just check for traps best I can, and then I'll just open the door. Just a crack, just a nudge.
Or-
Sure.
Let's have Boulder kick it in.
Do we really have to destroy
I
something
appreciate
here?
this idea.
All right. Boulder, somebody suggested that you just kick this door in as hard as you can.
Hey, I beg
Yeah,
to
I
differ.
can
This
do
is a
it.
part of history.
Or her
do that.
story.
I rolled a 16. We got some strength we can add to it.
Boulder sort of picks up Millie and very gently puts her on the step beside, steps in that step, leans back and kicks this door in. As he kicks the door kind of breaks off its hinges. A small axe swings into where someone, if they had just walked in, would come down and get. I never thought about one of you kicking the door open, and we don't have any rogues. Just broke my Home Alone trap. But sure enough, a little axe like sort of swings down and does that. And the passageway is open in front of you.
Well,
That was a very good idea, Christmas.
Exactly.
Thanks.
history is well and good, but I'm glad to have my head.
I think we're all happier with your head on your shoulders.
All right,
But
so
then
I
try
peek
to
in the
walk
door.
forward
in.
then, yes.
Who's going first?
Well,
Why don't
door
you
kicker.
take the lead?
All right. I walk into the room.
Boulder,
I check out this axe.
you want to pick up the axe that's on the ground?
I mean, I check it out. It looks like a pretty nice axe. I do have a good great axe.
You pick it up, and it's not a great axe. It's a little smaller than that, but it looks sturdy, and it looks like of good quality.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's not a great axe. It's a good axe.
It's a good axe. It's
Yeah.
an okay axe.
I could take a good axe. Why not?
It's an axe of.
Oh, I'm designing that magic item. The good axe of. Okay, put that in your inventory, Boulder. You have the good
All
axe
right.
of.
Good axe.
Yeah, this is wonder. We can homebrew anything. This is amazing.
The more you put into it, the better it is.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So you walk into this room. It is a sort of like a large sort of sitting room. which looks out of place for this area. There's a fireplace that's been in disuse or ill repair, but there are comfortable seats. Looks like a rug in the room. There are no lights on in the room, but still some of the sort of moonlight is trickling down from outside. But it is a waiting room with a door across the room leading into another place.
I will take out the torch and light the torch and light the fireplace as well.
Okay, Jables walks over to the fireplace and lights the fireplace, and sure enough, the fire, even though wood looks old and a little damp, it still catches fairly quickly, and it lends a really warm quality to the room. Not temperature-wise, but just the place seems very home. You notice that there are paintings around the room and a chest of drawers. There's a very comfortable chair. But yeah, it's just...
I search the room for anything important.
No other exits or entrances?
There is. There's a door sort of behind the chair that's facing the fireplace. Behind that chair is another door behind it. So
I rolled a 15 to search the room.
15 what? Investigation?
Perception.
Perception. Yeah, you're sort of looking around and you notice the chest of drawers. You notice some tapestries. You see a painting that looks like it's been beaten up quite a bit, but it's the only thing in the room that sort of has anything vaguely reminiscent of like past history to it. No other pictures of people, no other written words, other than this painting that just looks like it's sort of faded with time.
Okay. Boulder, would you do the honors and kick the next door down, please?
Nothing in here?
Couldn't we just try opening it first?
Nope. Door kicking's the way to go.
All right. I mean, it worked on the first one. Only problem is I rolled a 1.
Okay. So here we go. Boulder walks forward and he's like, guys, I got this. He brings his foot back and he goes to kick the door and his foot sticks to the door.
Guys, this was not a good idea.
Oh, crap. It must be a mimic.
Kill it with fire.
What did you think it is?
As he says, oh,
Or
God, it
footholding.
must be a mimic. You feel like a rippling as your foot is sort of absorbed a little deeper into what looked like a door at first, and your foot is sort of pulled in a little
I'm
bit.
going to shoot the door. Fire at
I
the door.
will stab the door.
Okay, I need all of you to roll initiative for me.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Oh,
Good, it'll take
natural
him
20.
forever. It's going to
Okay.
take him forever to eat you, so we got plenty of time. Tons of rounds.
Who's got 20 to 25 on initiative? Anybody?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Jables is up first.
I have a 19 total.
19, Deadeye.
Okay.
What else we got?
16.
16.
I rolled a 14.
Sir Knight.
8.
Boulder, use all of your touch abilities now.
All right.
Boulder hurt himself in its confusion.
I've
When
never
is
had a
it-
-1 to initiative.
Oof.
That's awesome.
All right, Jables, you're kicking this thing off. So what do you do
All right.
first?
I pull out Slender Bianca and do a little dance with it and then stab forward.
Slice off
I
his
hit-
leg. Save him.
I hit it with the pointy side. No,
That's
I can't
the point.
slice off his leg. I rolled a 16.
A 16 just hits. So
Oh,
you
thank
watch as Jabel sort of does this intricate dance and pulls out his Slender Bianca and lunges forward. And as he does, there's a guttural like as a scream seems to emanate from the door, and the door shifts a little bit, and a tiny bit of sort of green ooze comes out from the wound that Jables just inflicted upon the door. Deadeye, you're up next.
Should I roll damage?
Oh yeah, give me some damage. I'm just trying to keep things moving.
Fair enough. Oh, that's a perfect roll. That's a 10.
10 points of damage.
That's right. D8 plus 2, rapier.
That's my boy. All right.
That's right.
Deadeye, what you got?
Okay, so I'm going to use my hunter sense. So as an action, I choose one creature that I can see within 60 feet. I immediately learn whether the creature has any damage immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, and what they are if the creature is not hidden from a divination.
This creature before you, is this an action or a bonus action?
This is just an action, yeah.
Okay, so you guys watch as Deadeye just sort of living up to his namesake, sort of gets his weapons, puts them at his side, and gets really still and calm. And as he looks forward, he cocks his head to the side. And as he does, you start seeing this creature for what it is. The room goes quiet, and everything sharpens down to a pinpoint sort of focus in you. Deadeye, you look and you're realizing that this thing has no sort of resistances, but it does have a vulnerability. You notice this because the closer that this thing sort of oozes towards the fire, the more sort of moisture is being whisked away from it, and you realize it has a vulnerability to fire.
Okay.
That's your action.
All right, as my bonus action, I will cast Hunter's Mark.
Good move. All right. That was your move.
And I'll tell everybody, fire!
You guys hear as Deadeye just yells, fire! From his place in the room. Okay, it is now the door's turn. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, Boulder.
Got it. Oh, I rolled a 3.
Oh, buddy, that's not going to do.
But plus 3. I got 6.
Oh, well, that did it. No, it doesn't. That's all right. Hang on.
Wait, I got my battle axe. I haven't used it. Can I pull out my great axe and attack him?
You can on your turn.
Okay. Thanks. I'll just sit here.
Come on. So
Try to cut off your leg first.
you watch as Boulder's foot is sort of absorbed even deeper into the door, and you watch in horror as the door sort of splits open and rows of teeth emerge from it and sort of clamp down on his foot. And as he does, Boulder screams out as he takes 19 points of damage.
Oh, guys, this is... Oh, it hurts so bad. Somebody help.
You are currently... Boulder, you are...
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Currently grappled.
Oh, man.
You darn tootin' he is.
I gotta get out of this.
Kaladin, you're up.
Okay, is there room for me to attack it from the side? Is there enough room with a rapier?
There is. I would say that it would put you and Jables on either side of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're losing like space. Like if you were, yes, there's room on it for the other side.
But if I observe Deadeye, for instance, would I be in the way of his shot or anybody else behind me?
How tall is Kaladin?
He is 5'11", I believe.
It's going to be tough because the door is going to have cover, but you could always come forward and move back if you wish.
Okay.
But it would give an opportunity attack if it chose to take it.
Right. I'll attempt that then. I'll attempt to sort of dart forward and leap back in one moment.
Okay. Give me an attack roll against the door.
I have an extra attack. Is that correct on my character sheet? So do I roll twice for that one? Or?
You do. If you're choosing to take the attack action as your action, you get 2 attacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go for it.
First roll, 14. which is a +6, so that's a 20.
That hits.
Roll 18.
On the second one as well?
Yeah, so 24
roll-
total on the second one.
Roll damage twice for me.
Okay, 1d8, which is +5, I believe. Yeah, 1d8.
Yes.
I rolled a 3, so that's 8. And the second roll, I rolled an 8.
Oh,
There you go.
gosh. All right. So what is that? 16 total?
Oh, 3. What was
8,
I? +5, 8, and
An 8.
yes, yeah.
16 total.
Mhm.
This thing screams as Kaladin sort of reaches forward, another rapier hit against it, and it sort of recoils, and more of that ooze sort of like comes out of it. All right, Boulder, it's your move.
All right, I gotta use that great axe, or maybe I could even use the good axe of Let's go with the great axe.
Okay, yeah.
I'm in tons of pain. I just need to get this thing off of my leg.
Okay.
I roll, get a 7, but I add strength to it, right?
You do?
All right, so I got a 14.
Unfortunately, there must be something about like the pain that it's causing you, or this sort of scream or this guttural yell. But unfortunately, that is just not enough for you. Even though you bring the axe up and you slam it towards the door, you sort of lean off to the side a little bit, and it strikes into the stonework next to it, but it does not land on the door itself. All right, Millie, your turn.
All right, so he's still being pulled. What I'm going to do is use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on the boulder to give him a little bit of extra protection, hopefully.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Guiding.
All right. Yeah. So the Shield of Faith, I believe, goes on. This was your bonus action?
The Shield of Faith
Okay.
was my bonus action, and then the
Yeah. So the Shield of Faith sort of goes off without a hitch, but unfortunately, attack just doesn't land.
Yeah.
But Boulder, take a +2 to your AC as the sort of magical energy sort of flows out of Millie towards you. And even though you're at the door, you notice as you feel sort of stronger and a little more, for lack of a better term, bolder, as you're emboldened by this spell.
Got it.
Bolder.
Yeah. Jables, this door is looking rough.
Okay. So I pull out Bianca,
Okay.
my lute, and I strum a chord, and I sing. With karate, we'll kick your ass from here to right over there. Oh yeah, motherfucker! I'm gonna kick your fucking dairy, yeah. Bardic inspiration to the whole party. You now have
to the
a
whole
D8.
party.
Yeah, it says bonus action. Any a creature. I'm gonna make it for Boulder then. You gain an inspiration die, David.
So, David, add a D8. Anytime you make an attack or a saving throw, you can choose to use this inspiration that Jables has granted upon you to assist you with a roll.
Got it.
You're up.
Oh, I also attack because it was a bonus action.
Yeah, hit him.
So I hit it with a 21.
21 hits. Roll some damage for me.
I rolled a 9.
Ooh, okay. The door is still up, and you watch as another sort of spout of green oozes off, and it's enough to let go of Boulder's foot, and his foot sort of like falls to the side.
Is it still attached to him?
No, it is. The foot is still attached to Boulder, just not to the door. Deadeye, you're up.
I'm gonna take a shot with my longbow. Let's see, that is 17.
Yeah.
Okay,
17
so
hits.
okay. Then I get a D6 added onto that, and I'll add another D6 using Slayer feat or Slayer ability. My Monster Slayer ability. Slayer's
Yes.
Prey.
It has the potential to be a lot of damage.
13 for the first hit,
Okay. It's just barely holding on.
and then 21 to hit again.
Okay.
Another 7 points of damage.
All right. How do you want to do this?
I want to get those arrows as closely to what I imagine the eye sockets are on this, and let it fly.
Deadeye sort of lines a shot, and he does this thing where he sort of breathes in, and on the exhale, the arrow leaves. And as the arrow leaves, it sort of hits this thing in the center of its mass. And as it does, its eyes open, but moving faster than the human eye could probably follow. That minute that the creature's eyes open, another arrow is already piercing through the eye, and this thing sort of slumps to the ground, turning into this large sort of puddle of goo that sort of evaporates into the air around it, and leading to an open passageway that's basically a hallway leading out of this room. Congratulations. Good job,
Excellent
guys.
job, Boulder. You killed it.
If it wasn't for your foot, we would have surely died.
Yes. You have strength of feet.
You're welcome. It's a bit hard for me to walk, so I might be limping. I do have
Let me fix that for you.
actor, so I have an entire bag of disguises. Is there anything in my bag that'll help me, that I can tie to? Maybe a shirt I can tie.
Thinking
crotch
is not
I
your
can
strong
use.
suit, my friend. I can assist you.
Okay, thank you. I need something because
I
this is
pull
really
out my pen pipes. Named Will. I cast healing.
What is it you cast? Are you casting Cure Wounds?
Yes, cure wounds.
All right. You're casting Cure Wounds.
Level 37.
Level 37. How much does Boulder heal?
Let's find out. Let's hope I roll well on this D8. No, I don't roll well. You heal 6 points.
All right. Boulder, you feel slightly better as some of the wounds heal based on the just musical, magical playing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can take care of a little more of that.
So much healing love.
That's fucking teamwork.
Okay.
That would be a 12.
All right. So you're healed another 12 points. I think that should
Nice.
bring you up pretty far.
Pretty close. Yep.
Okay.
I'm pretty much back.
So Boulder's feeling much better, and you seem sort of not hunched
Thanks,
over, but
guys.
what's next?
Can I stealth down this hallway? Maybe kind of scout ahead? If you guys be okay with that?
I will come with you.
I shall stay behind.
It'll be safer for me if I did it by myself, but you can keep an eye on me.
Oh, I could
Okay.
cast Pass Without a Trace, and then we can all
We can
stealth
all do it.
Go ahead. I'll turn to Boulder and just, how are you faring?
I'm feeling a little better. I got this pretty badass scar, but
Are you able to continue?
yeah. Thank you to my friends here. I'm walking a little slower than usual, but I'm doing good.
Rub some dirt on it.
All right. I'll stay at the back for now.
How
Take a look behind us.
how rough
Perhaps
is he
next
looking?
time
Because
you
I can
can
use
go
up
back.
another spell slot.
No, he is fine. He is a big, strong boy.
I mean, he only lost 19 points of health, right?
Yeah, but I gained it all back.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah, he's perfectly
solid.
fine.
Yeah. I'm basically back.
We should move forward. There's no telling how many kids we can save.
All right, so I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace. It means everybody is going to get a +10 to their stealth checks.
Holy shit.
All right, everybody roll stealth for me and add +10 to it.
28.
26.
23.
26.
17. I'm just still a big guy.
All right, you managed to sort of stealthily make your way down this hallway. You get into this room. There is a circular table in the room. There are 2 chairs, one on either side of this sort of circular table, with a plate on the table and one of those sort of domes that's over the plate. The room is a little dark, but there are torches that are unlit alongside the walls.
I light the torches.
All right. The room is very barren. Stone floors, stone walls, with the exception of this table with this small plate that's sort of covered. If you'd like to look around the room, somebody can roll perception for me.
Yeah, I'll go that.
I rolled a 4. Sorry, 7.
Wow, 20.
All right.
You win.
So everyone's sort of looking around the different areas. They're sort of examining the walls. Kaladin, you start to sort of look down. You try to find the spot where nobody's looking. And sure enough, down, it almost looks like a mouse hole off in the far corner. I would say the right corner of the room. It looks small enough for a mouse to get through.
Okay. I seem to spy what looks like a mouse hole in the corner there. You see that? I'll gesture to everyone else.
Okay, fine. I guess I will bite. I guess I will go to the table and I will lift off the thing. If there is a severed head under here, I will be very upset.
You lift it
It's
up
an
and it's a
eat
severed
me.
head. It's a,
Ah!
no, it's an eat me. It's a plate littered with 20 or so little cakes.
I know how this works.
I'm sure you do.
I pop a cake in my mouth.
Oh, God. There's no
Okay.
telling where that's been.
So you watch as Millie takes an entire one of these little cakes and shoves it into her mouth, and then all of a sudden she shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and keeps shrinking, and she's very littles.
I might need you guys to get me some of that water in a few minutes.
She is very, very small.
I
She's
think we found our way into the mouse hole.
yes.
Perhaps
Oh,
we
well.
could fill a flask with the water just in case. Is that possible?
That would be pretty smart.
The water is outside. Like you'd have
Yeah,
to go back to the
corridor.
original room and sort of dip
Go
it
down the
below.
staircase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do that? Is that possible? You happy with that?
It is. I would say that you would be aware of the amounts that are sort of around that area.
Mhm.
Take the
so-
torches with us.
Okay. So you guys all take a little trip. As soon as Millie shrinks down to very, very tiny, everybody,
How
all
about
this,
I'll say, Deadeye, you come with me. Bring your flask.
Deadeye and Kaladin walk out of the room. and go over and using the torchlight, you're able to sort of scare the bugs away and off into their little spaces. And you were able to fill a flask with the water at the bottom of the well.
Am I tiny like mousehole size, or am I tiny like tinier than mousehole size?
You are tinier than mousehole size. You
I
are
very gingerly
ant.
pick Millie up
how?
with fingertips. Can I do that without squishing her to death?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, I have this. I have this. 16.
It's a little tight, Millie, but Jables manages to pick you up and in his hands. And are you just holding
a little
her?
Squish. Can I just dip my finger in that water and just a tiny little sip?
Yes, let me just here, I will put you not in my pocket, but on my shoulder. Like so.
Okay. Jables thinks this is really funny, but Millie, you are holding on for dear life at the top of a mountain.
It's so hard to breathe up here.
Yeah.
Where is that water?
The boys come back. Deadeye and Kaladin come back.
We're going to make our way back to the room. Well then, let us eat cake. And I'm gonna grab cake.
Before we eat cake, we should see how much water we need to get back to normal size.
Let's test it on Millie.
Yes, because she is already short.
Hey, I resent that.
No, you resemble that.
That is what I was going to say.
Okay, so how do you do this? She is very little, and the flask is very large.
It has a cap, no?
It
I'll
does
dip
have
it.
a cap.
We
Dip the
soak
arrow in it.
fabric.
Let
Soak
the
in fabric
drop
and
out.
You could suck the corner of my shirt. I don't know.
Suck this fabric, filthy fabric sucker.
Can't wait. Can I just put a little in the cap and just like tilt it up to his shoulder and just
That's
like
what I was
let
going
her,
to recommend.
yeah, let her just take a little sip, like a big swimming pool. Just
Sure, she's about the size of an ant. So you take this cap full of water and sort of put it up to where this ant is. You're leaning off of his shoulder. Give me a dex check. Just a straight up dex check as you lean forward towards this swimming pool.
That would be a 17 plus. I think
It's gonna be that'll be enough. That'll be
No,
enough.
thank God.
She leaves.
-1.
16 it is.
What do I want to do here?
Swimmy, swim.
Okay, I know what I want to do. She gets close, but she's still a little bit far away. So she reaches her hand in and brings up a little handful of water. And as she drinks it, she's sitting on your shoulder again, and she's back. But her hand is freaking huge, and it's just the one hand that she used to scoop up some of the water. It's almost boulder-sized hand.
Make sure to hold on with your strong hand then.
No, take my strong hand.
Will do.
I'm glad somebody got the reference.
Can I lean in and splash the cap over her?
Oh, yeah. You want to just pour the rest of the water? She's fully sized now. Do you want to pour the rest of?
Oh, all of her is fully sized.
Yes,
Oh,
other
sorry,
than
I thought
her
just the
hand,
hand.
which is bigger than her.
Oh, I get. Okay, I misunderstood. My bad. No, I won't.
Well, that's going to be awkward.
you do you.
It's the
You'll be a
person.
hit at parties.
Does anybody know if there's a time limit on this wretched magic?
She's the high five champion of the world.
Always plays rock, paper, scissors.
And still wins. Still wins.
Someone must have some
Well.
experience.
I believe I can do something, but would out of character, would dispel magic rectify this situation?
You don't know. This magic is powerful. It's old.
Mhm.
And it's not something that any of you have ever had any sort of real contact with. You could certainly try. Who here has Arcana as a proficiency? Does anybody have Arcana as a proficiency?
I believe I do. Let me just double check.
No. Jables, you might be the only one on this one.
Nope, I don't have proficiency. Oh, wait.
I have a proficiency bonus.
Yep, I do not have proficiency in Arcana.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. No. That's okay. So, yeah.
Oh, wait, no. I do. Sorry, looking in the wrong place.
Oh,
Okay,
so now
okay,
I
I got it. I
Hey,
rolled a
big
16.
hands, you're the one.
You realize that this is a concentrated version of the Enlarge spell.
Okay, so maybe I can. I'm gonna try and see if I can dispel this then.
Okay. You cast Dispel Magic, and it, sort of you feel the sort of warm energy sort of move through you as Jables plays some songs, and as he does, Millie, your hand sort of shrinks back to normal size.
Thanks. I'm just worried we're going to have to do this all over again just to get down to size to go through the door. I mean, you didn't have to waste that spell on me.
No, it would have kind of freaked me out if I had just seen little you with giant one hand. So I'd rather not be freaked out.
So it's just really all about aesthetics for you, huh?
At times, yes, at times.
How
All
much
right, so
did you drink?
maybe we don't eat the whole thing is the lesson we learned.
That is a good idea. I will cut this in 5 equal parts because math.
I like it.
Okay. You watch as Jables takes one of the cakes and cuts it into 5 sort of equal parts and gives one to everyone. And you shrink down, and you are about mouse size, with the exception of Boulder, who's still.
But I gave him the biggest piece
Oh, well.
Of the
that
equal
changes
parts.
everything. Yeah, of the biggest,
equal parts.
the bigger of the equals. He shrinks down enough so that he'll be able to fit through the door.
Fantastic.
You
he just
solved
duck
my
down?
eat me puzzle.
How very aptly named.
You're welcome.
Good night, everybody.
Well, that's the show, folks. Thank you so much.
We'll be here. We'll be here all for the next 5 minutes.
Okay. What do you do next?
We brave the
Is there
little
a
mouse
door,
and go inside.
like over the mouse hole? Is there like a door over it?
There's not. It
No,
sort
you
of
sure you just can't
leads-
kick another door in? Door kicking.
We're done with that. Rude.
You've got another foot. Kick it with the other foot.
Rude. I do have javelins I can throw at it.
It's not as good as foot kicking.
That's not going to kick down a door. That's just going to poke it.
Put new handles on the door.
Yeah, but are there? Is there anything that we can take off the hinges or anything?
There is
There's
no door in
There's
front
no
of this
door.
mousetrap.
There's no door.
We walk in with torches ablaze.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me that Boulder's just like, what's with this invisible door? Like,
I can take it down.
I got this. I'll bring it down. It's an illusion. I'm gonna take it out.
you walk forward into a circular room, not quite unlike the large stone circle that you saw out front. This room has stone sort of benches that are carved at varying points spread throughout the room. Think not risen benches, but just sort of all facing a central pit. Inside the pit is a sort of rope that is tied up on the ceiling, and the rope leads further down into this pit. Scattered around the benches are various forms and figures. They look skeletal. The majority of them look skeletal in nature, except for 5 or 6 forms that don't look skeletal and that are shrouded with hoods on.
I go to the hoods and take them off.
Which one? I'll say there's 5 of them.
Let's go to the closest one to me.
Okay, so you go up to number 2, and as you pull it back, you see a child sitting in front of you. Looks very gaunt, but his head, he sort of turns over and looks up at you, and then looks back towards the pit again.
Child, are you okay? Are you all right? Are you hungry? Can you walk?
He does not respond to you.
I bust out sign language.
He writes it on a sign and then holds it in front of them.
Oh, just pictures of, yes. He does not respond. He just sort of keeps staring absent-mindedly towards this pit in the center of the room.
Well, it looks like we have to kill whatever's in this pit.
Can I peer over the edge?
Kaladin, you sort of walk forward. It's going to be a little tricky for you because you're a human and you don't have any sort of dark vision. As you peer over the edge, you do see the rope sort of there, and it's light enough outside with all the torches and stuff that were lit in the other room that you see a faint glimmering of light, and you see something tied to the end of a rope, sort of swinging back and forth.
Okay. There is something on the rope here.
Pull it up.
Boulder, we need your strength.
That's why I'm here.
Kick it indoors and pull it on rope.
All right. I grab onto the rope, take one end, tie it to my other foot this time.
You're taking, well, one end is tied to the ceiling and it's dangling down. Do you just want to start pulling it up? Or are you yanking the end that's on the ceiling off?
I mean, if I can lean over far enough, I don't know how they are, but I can just start pulling up like this.
Okay. So you guys watch. Boulder sort of walks forward and starts pulling the rope. And as he pulls up on the rope, he's pulling up the skeletons in the back. The benches furthest away from the hole all stand up. And he keeps pulling, and the second row all stand up.
I don't see them.
You might want to stop pulling.
Watch the children. Protect them.
I pull up Bianca.
Okay.
Can we get the children to the back of the room? What happens if we try to move them?
Well, we've only seen one hood. Should we lift up the hoods on the other kids first?
Yeah, sure. Let's check the other hooded.
You walk forward, and sure enough, the other 5 hooded figures in this room are 5 children, all in sort of varying stages. The first one that you looked at seemed to be the worse off, just looking gaunt and malnourished. The other ones look a little bit more lively, but they still have trouble focusing on you. It's almost like they're hearing your voice from a far distance, or they're looking at you but not quite sure what they see.
Dispel magic.
On who?
Let's go with the one that's been here the longest, the one that looks gauntest.
Okay. Jables, you walk forward and cast Dispel Magic.
I think that was my last one.
Give me a D20.
Yeah, that was my last one. Hopefully it works. 19.
Okay. You watch as Jables sort of walks forward and channels his sort of arcane energy, and as he projects it outward. You feel and see the arcane energy move through this child, and as it does, he starts looking over at you, and he looks down at the ground, and he goes bolting out of the room. He runs past you full of energy, and as he bolts out of the room, you see why, because casting Dispel Magic immediately starts returning sensations to his limbs, and he starts growing in size. He manages to run down and sort of grow large and large before he erupts and sort of splits this room wide open.
Oh. Well, it was very good playing with everyone. I had a very good... Looks like the room has been destroyed and...
No. He ran out of the room. He saw what was happening, and the board channeled some energy, and so now he ran down the hall, out the room, and is sort of out there.
He's back in the main room with the Eatonese.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go check on the boy.
I'm going to try and gather up the children. Let us get them out of here.
Still holding on.
The skeletons have not moved. Kaladin starts gathering children one by one and sort of bringing them out towards... you see the boy sort of has his hand out by the door. Mm-hmm. And Kaladin, unless anyone helps him, you start taking a child, lifting them up, and sort of bringing them to this outstretched hand.
Do we have any water for those kids? Because they're still tiny.
Well,
it's in the flask.
Yeah, we should wait till we get outside the room to use the water on them.
Exactly.
Very true. Okay. Christmas, stay here and protect Boulder. We shall take the children out and we shall come back.
You guys all make quick work of getting all the children in this room. You start bringing them out to sort of this main... And as you do, the boy that had grown very large outstretches his hand and says, "I'll take care of them. Just hurry." And he sort of takes the children in his hands and lifts them up on the table.
How many kids were missing?
5.
Okay. So I thought there might be one dangled at the bottom of this rope. This might not be a good idea to bring it up.
Might not be a good idea. Go ahead and let it go, but very gently.
What's in there? Can we ask the kid?
Yeah, you see, you kind of go out there and you like squeak up. You're like, "What's in there?" And he puts the children up on the table and sort of leans down, and he says, I got one look at it, and all I saw was like these eyes. I just remembered seeing the eyes. I was so tired. I was just so tired.
Millie, you can see in the dark, yes?
I can. Let's go back in there. Maybe this isn't something bad. Maybe this is something we can help.
Or maybe it's something we can kill with fire so it doesn't steal more children. Just a thought.
Or that,
What is Boulder pulling up? Can you see?
Okay, I look down the little well thing and see if I can see anything.
Okay, I need to know exactly where everybody is standing when Millie leans over and tries to make eye contact or look at this thing that's in the well.
By the exit.
Okay, Kaladin is by the exit to the room. Boulder is standing a little ways away, holding it.
Yeah, I'm still leaning over. Holding the thing.
Okay.
I'm
because I lifted it up a few feet.
Okay.
I'm standing on the last row of the, I would say, pew or seats.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So you lean forward, and start looking at this thing, and you see it sort of shaking and moving a little bit. You're seeing what looks to be sort of scaly features on it. It's definitely tied by the rope. Do you say anything, or do you just keep watching it for a little bit?
Does it? Okay. What do I see? I see scales. I see eyes.
You see scales. You see a what looks to be like a body, a circular like body. Looks like a mass. It almost looks like about the size of a dog. And as you're studying it and not saying anything, you notice a second head pop up off to the side, and just sort of like start looking around. Think snake head with two really large eyes on it. Start scanning around, but there's two of these heads connected to this like circular body.
Okay, and it looks like creepy. I know things aren't what they appear to be sometimes, but this is not looking like a sweet, fluffy, happy little thing.
Give me a history check.
17.
Okay. You are trying to rack your brain, and you can't figure out what this is. And all of a sudden, you hearken back to when you were a child and you were going to school to learn about the duties of your family and what they were doing. And a line of dialogue flits around your head, and it's the Frumious Bandersnatch. You hearken back to the ancient text, and you remember reading about somebody trying to catch a Bandersnatch, and it would look two different ways to try to confuse someone, and then it would run a completely different direction. But the two heads were a defense mechanism.
Now I know lore. Legend says the Bandersnatch is not so nice, but people haven't really seen one. It's just more a thing of legend, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna try talking nice to it. I'm gonna say, "Hey there, are you okay?"
In common?
I'm gonna try all 4 languages I know: Common, Elvish, Gnomish, and Sylvan.
Common, nothing. Gnomish, nothing. Elvish, nothing. Sylvan, it pops. It reacts to the noise, but on Sylvan, both of the heads turn around and look at you, and it sort of growls a little bit. It like bares its teeth, but it's not moving. It's still tied to the waist, and you guys hear this sort of slight growl coming from the center of this pit.
I say, guys, I think this is a Bandersnatch. And I look back at him, and I try speaking really sweetly in Sylvan. Do you need help, Bandersnatch?
You don't hear anything, but projected into your mind is someone holding out their hand to another person.
Guys, I'm not sure this thing is bad. I mean, we should probably be ready just in case it is, but we might be able to help this.
We have the children. I believe we should not tarry here any longer.
I am in agreement with Sir Galahad.
Does he look like he's tied down or anything like that? Does he look like he's trapped or tied?
If you look, make a perception check.
At 16.
It's tied around the waist. As you look at it and you start to sort of move backwards, it makes eye contact with you again, and you see a picture of somebody holding a string and taking a pair of shears and cutting the string. And it just looks up at you.
I'm going to try mentally projecting back something and see if it can understand me. But I'll also say in Sylvan, like, can I trust you? And then I'm going to try picturing in my head, like me looking scared and it like biting me.
Give me a wisdom check. Just a straight up wisdom roll.
That's an 18 plus 5.
All right. Yeah. You guys are watching and you're getting a little more nervous as Millie stops talking with all of you. She just sort of like looks down and she was speaking in Sylvan and now she's looking down and she's sort of looking down in a concentrated movement. And as she does, she sort of like stares forward and that rope is swinging a little bit more. You see an image in your head and it's somebody walking away from their house, getting as far away from their house as they can, turning back, staring at their house and trying to walk towards it and not able to get to it. Like a bad dream. Like no matter how much this human is walking towards their house, the house keeps getting further away. And then they look down and there's a rope tied around their waist.
Guys, I could be horribly wrong here, but I think there's the chance we can trust this, but I know it's a gamble. I think people need to take those kids and go. But I'd like to stay unless somebody else wants to stay too. I don't think this thing's evil.
How sure are you that it is not dangerous?
I'm not sure at all.
Somebody brought these children here. This thing is tied up. It could not have brought the children here. I don't think that it is the cause of our issues.
Yeah, but maybe it can help us.
What does it want us to do?
It wants us to release it. It wants to go home. I think at least it's hard to understand.
You get another image and it's just frantically, it's 8, 9 images. It almost hurts of a rope being cut. Like a large rope being cut, a string being cut, a seamstress working, cutting a string, a cobbler working on a pair of shoes and cutting a rope, someone on a pirate ship sort of like taking a rope and cutting it and slicing it and tying something taut. And you just keep getting images of a rope being cut over and over again.
I'm going to cut this rope. But we need to be prepared to leave.
I'm holding on still.
So you watch as Boulder sort of holds the rope and lifts it up just a little bit, and the last remaining skeletons in this room sort of stand up as he lifts the rope just a tiny bit. Jables strides forward and cuts this rope. There is a feeling of lightness, and you're all waiting and listening, and then you hear splash.
We need to run. We need to run and get out of here now.
As you hear the splash, there's a rumble. A sound like...
Uh-oh. I think it fell in the water.
Moving.
Let us depart.
Kaladin is already out the door since he was the closest exit and starts running forward.
Who's with the kids?
My priorities.
Wait. Did I feel something? Or am I still holding onto the rope?
Nope. You let go of the rope. And who is anybody staying or is everybody running out of the room?
We're all leaving the room.
Okay. You guys all run out of the room and you make it to the main area. I assume wigging drinks as fast as they can.
Yes. And as soon as I'm back to full size, I'm gonna grab that whole platter of the eat me's.
Yeah.
And dump the eat me's in a bag.
Okay. You guys watch as Deadeye sort of does that. The kids run up the steps and you sort of lead them to the steps. Everyone is sort of making their way up the steps that lead outside of the circular building. There is this rumbling sound. you all sort of, I assume, grab a child that is lagging behind and start running away from this sort of circular area. You make your ways back and back and back and back as the ground rumbles and shakes and quakes and rumbles within you. And there is this sound louder than thunder, louder than anything you've ever heard in your life, as the ground splits open and this being shoots out of the ground. It is the largest creature you have ever seen. The scope of it is breathtaking as it, in this sort of like middle of the countryside, sort of rockets past all of you and shoots up straight into the sky. And as it shoots up straight into the sky, it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. And it's not stopping. Everyone sort of stays where they are with this large sort of crater that has opened up, and stare up into the sky towards this starry-filled night sky with the moon right there, this circular gray presence. And you watch as this shape gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it gets equal with the moon and just sort of stops, and the heads roll into itself and forms a secondary shape in the night sky, rolling up into a ball, staying right there.
Well, let's hope this doesn't come back to bite us in the ass.
You had to cut the rope, didn't you?
And that's where we're going to end the episode tonight.
Oh!
Nice.
What?
You had to cut the rope, didn't you? Thank you all so much for joining us for this one shot in Wonder. I hope you guys all had as much fun as I did telling the story. You guys took some twists and turns, and I cannot thank you enough for bringing characters to life and hanging out with us this evening. I would encourage everyone that is watching the stream right now, you are just in time to head over to the Plastered Dragon to see an amazing game of D&D. With our Web of Lies crew. It is a modern-day D&D game set in Washington, D.C. Some amazing characters, just as amazing as all of these folks right here. Guys, players, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for doing the first one-shot for Indigo Chameleon.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
No, thank you.
Thank you for hosting. It was very fun.
Wonder shot.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Wonder shot. So on behalf of Mike, Tracy, Maddie, David, and Berto, and myself, thank you all for tuning in, and do you wonder?
If you stick around, I'm going to attempt to raid the Plaster Dragon, considering they just started. And yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you later.
Bye, bye, bye.